Reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Ajilila, chapter 4, verse, text number 55. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Then reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Please repeat. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikritir. Lajini Shakti Rasmad. Ekatmano Vapi Bhuvipura. Deha Bedam Gatoto. Chaitanya Kyam Prakata Madhuna. Tadvayam Chaikyam Aptam. Radha Bhava Jyoti Suvalitam. Naumi Krishna Swarupam. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikrichi Lajini Shakchida Smart. Ekatmano Bhati Bhuvipura Deha Vedam Gatoto. Chaitanya Kyam Prakatam Aduna Tadvayam Chaikyam Aptam. Radha Bhava Jyoti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. Radha Krishna Pranaya Vikriti Lajini Shakti Rasmad. Ekatmano Vapi Bhuvipura Deha Bhedam Gatoto. Chaitanya Kyam Prakatam Aduna Tadvayam Chaikyam Aptam. Radha Bhava Jyoti Suvalitam Naumi Krishna Swarupam. Radha Krishna Pranayati Atmano vapi bhuvi puradhatidam pakoto. Radha Bhava Juti Suvadhanam Krishna Swarupam. Matajis. Now the words Radha, Srimati Radharani, Krishna, of Lord Krishna, Pranaya, of love, Vikriti, the transformation, Ladini Shakti, pleasure potency, Asmat, from this, Eka Atmano, both the same in identity, Api, although, Bhuvi, on earth, Pura, from beginningless time, Deha Bhedam, separate forms, Gato, obtained, To, these two, Chaitanya Akyam, known as Sri Chaitanya, Prakatam, manifest, Adhuna, now, Tadvayam, the two of them, Cha, and Ekyam, unity, Aptam, obtained, Radha, of Srimati Radharani, Bhara, mood, Juti, the luster, Suvalitam, who is adorned with, Naomi, I offer my obeisances, Krishna Swarupam, to him who is identical with Sri Krishna. Translation. The loving affairs of Sri Radha and Krishna are transcendental manifestations of the Lord's internal pleasure-giving potency. Although Radha and Krishna are one in their identity, they separated themselves eternally. Now these two transcendental identities have again united in the form of Sri Krishna Chaitanya. I bow down to him who has manifested himself with the sentiment and complexion of Srimati Radharani, although he is Krishna himself. Purport given by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. This text is from the diary of Srila Swarupa Damodara Goswami. It appears as the fifth of the first 14 verses of Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mangalacharam. It's interesting to note that Srila Swarupa Damodara Goswami, he was permanently, every day, during 18 years, they were in contact, direct contact with the Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then and also Srila Swarupa Damodara Goswami was very scholarly. He was the personal secretary of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then he is revealing the very nature of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he could see, he perceived directly. It's not that one verse that some devotee like, wrote 100 years after Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. No, it's one person who are present, and then Sri Swarupa Damodara Goswami, he took notes of the pastimes of the leelas of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu during these 18 years that he is present with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is very important because the biography of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very complete, step by step. And then Swarupa Damodara is responsible by that. I will read this following verse and then the purport for elaborating more what this nice verse that we recite. Text 56. Radha Krishna eka atma dui deha dhari anyone vilase rasa ashvadana kari. Translation. Radha and Krishna are one and the same, but they have assumed two bodies. Thus they enjoy each other, tasting the mellows of love. Purport of Srila Prabhupada. These two transcendentalists, Radha and Krishna, are a puzzle to materialists. The above description of Radha and Krishna from the diary of Srila Swarupa Damodara Goswami is a condensed explanation, but one needs great spiritual insight to understand the mystery of these two personalities. One is enjoying in two. Sri Krishna is the potent factor, and Srimati Radharani is the internal potency. According to Vedanta philosophy, there is no difference between the potent and the potency. They are identical. We cannot differentiate between one and the other any more than we can separate fire from heat. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revealed this. The verses original verses we read. Radha Krishna pranaya vikritir lajini shakti asmad ekatmano vapi bhuvi purad deha bedanga toto. Radha Krishna pranaya vikritir. Radha, Srimati Radharani is the transformation of love of Krishna. She's the pleasure potency of Krishna. She's always giving pleasure to Krishna. As Srila Swarupa Damodara Goswami also composed the next verses. In these verses he says that although Srimati Radharani is the pleasure potency of Krishna, it means that she gives pleasure to Krishna. She feels more pleasure than Krishna. Krishna wants to know how the intensity of pleasure Srimati Radharani feels giving pleasure to him. And then here is explained that to understand that these two personalities, Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna, they are separate personalities, but actually the essence is only one. As this verse says, Eka Atma, Eka Atma. They are the same. And then Srila Prabhupada points out that very rarely persons can perceive this. Although, unless this mystery is revealed by one pure devotee of Krishna, as Srila Prabhupada, following the footsteps of great acharyas in the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then we have this information. As Sri Chaitanya, the philosophy of Sri Chaitanya says, Achincha Beda Abeda Tattva. The relation between the potent and the potence is simultaneously identity and difference, separation. This is achincha. Achincha means inconceivable, because in the material realm this is impossible, but this is possible in the spiritual realm. As this verse that explains the nature of the names of Krishna. Nama Chintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Purna Shuddho Nitya Mukto Bhinatvam Namanamino. This verse says that there is abhinatva between the name, what the name is revealing. Abhinatva means that there is no separation. There's no difference. Bina, abhinatva. No difference between the name and that the name is revealing. For example, in this material world. The substance water is different from the name water. It's different. But in spiritual realm, the name of Krishna is Krishna himself, there is no difference. In the same way, there is also abhinattva, non-difference between the potent and the potency. And then there's no difference between Krishna and Srimati Radharani. Although they are two personalities, but they, as described here, they have Eka Atma. Only one identity. We follow the purport. Everything in the Absolute is inconceivable in relative existence. Therefore, in relative cognizance, it is very difficult to assimilate this truth of the oneness between the potent and the potence. The philosophy inconceivable oneness and difference propounded by Lord Chaitanya is the only source of understanding for such intricacies of transcendency. In fact, Radharani is the internal potency of Sri Krishna, and she eternally intensifies the pleasure of Sri Krishna. Impersonalists cannot understand this without the help of a Mahabhagavata devotee like Srila Prabhupada. The very name Radha suggested that Srimati Radharani is eternally the topmost mistress of the comforts of Sri Krishna. As such, she is the medium transmitting the living entity's service to Sri Krishna. Devotees in Vrindavan therefore seek the mercy of Srimati Radharani in order to be recognized as loving servitors of Sri Krishna. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu personally approached the fallen conditioned souls of the Iron Age to deliver the highest principle of transcendental relationship with the Lord. The activities of Lord Chaitanya are primarily in the role of the pleasure-giving portion of his internal postulates. And then the first verse we read, says, Chaitanyakyam prakatam aduna tadvayam chaikam aptam. These two personalities, Radha and Krishna, now are united in the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the conclusion given by Srila Swarupa Damodara Goswami, because he was present, he witnessed all these Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as he is in fact. And then he explained how this could be. He says, Radha Bhava Jyoti Suvalitam Naumis Krishna Swarupa. Externally, he appears as with this Radha Bhava Jyoti Suvalitam. He reveals this effulgence. He's adorned with this duty, this effulgence of Radha Bhava. And then externally, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in the mood of Srimati Radharani. But actually, Sri Krishna Swarupam. His essence, his Swarupam is Krishna. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the combination of Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna together. I finished that purport. The absolute personality of God, of Sri Krishna, is the omnipotent form of transcendental existence, knowledge, bliss in full. His internal potency is exhibited first as sat, or existence, or in other words, as the portion that expands the existence function of the Lord. When the same potency displays full knowledge, it is called chit, or samvit, which expands the transcendental form of the Lord. Finally, when the same potency plays the pleasure-giving medium, it is known as ladini, or the transcendental blissful potency. Thus the Lord manifests his internal potency in three transcendental divisions. As Srila Prabhupada mentioned here, unless this nature of Lord Chaitanya is revealed by one Mahabhagavata, it's impossible to understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. We see in the Gaur Lila, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyasa and went to Jagannath Puri, as soon as he came to the temple of Lord Jagannath and had darshan of the deities, he fainted. He loses external consciousness. By chance, one great scholar, great personality was present, and he saw when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one young sannyasi, very effulgent. The body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was so beautiful, attractive. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he notes that, and he is following that sannyasi. And then he saw when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was having darshan to Lord Jagannath, he fainted. And then there are many people in the temple room like this, and the guards wants to take out the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya became very impressed. He said, "Bring this young sannyas to my house." And then Chaitanya was in the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, lying like in internal consciousness. And then the devotees who are following this trip from Navadvip to Jagannath Puri, Lord Nityananda, Mukunda Datta, Damodara Pandit, I think. They came to the temple, and he heard that some sannyasi, young sannyasi, had lose consciousness and have taken to the house of Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He went there. And then he started doing kirtanam. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he just had given the name Sri Krishna Chaitanya because he took sannyas. And then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu regained consciousness. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya became very much attracted to Chaitanya, to the personality of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya were not so young. He's a middle-aged or more. Actually, he was a friend of the grandfather of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And then he became very affectionate to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He said, "I will instruct you Vedanta." And then he started giving lectures to classes to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu for 7 days of explaining Advaita Vedanta philosophy based on the teachings of Shankaracharya. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't say any words. Finally, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he asked him, have you understand something that I explained? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, well, what you explained about the Vedanta Sutra, I understand directly the words of the author, Srila Vyasadeva. But I cannot understand this interpretation you are giving, the words of Vyasadeva. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said, what do you know about Vedanta? Tell me. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained exactly the absolute truth to him. Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya was a very honest person. He considered, and then he was confused. And then his son-in-law, Gopinathacharya. Gopinathacharya was a follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya approached Gopinathacharya. He said, I heard that you comment that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. What is that? How do you prove that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself? And then what Gopinathacharya said, I cannot prove to you. I cannot prove to you. And he quoted one verse from Srimad Bhagavatam spoken by Lord Brahma. Atapite deva padambuja dvaya prasada lisha nugrihita eva hi janati tatvam mahino nachanyam eko pichiram vitimvam janati tatvam bhagavam mahino nachanyam eko pichiram vitimvam. This verse was spoken by Lord Brahma. He said, unless a person have received prasada lesha anugrah, it means one drop of prasada, one drop of the mercy of the Supreme Lord. One cannot understand the Supreme Lord. He said, you didn't receive this drop of mercy. Prasada lesha nugrihita. And then you cannot understand the nature of Lord Chaitanya. Spoke like this. We say that we receive this drop of prasadam to understand Lord Chaitanya through Srila Prabhupada's books. Srila Prabhupada's books, the book distribution of Srila Prabhupada is drops of mercy of the Supreme Lord to the living entities in this world. It's the only way to understand Lord Chaitanya. The only way has to be through the mercy of one agent of the Supreme Lord, one pure devotee of Krishna. And then Lord Brahma says, one cannot understand the Lord even he is studying the scriptures for the whole life. You see, the whole life of Brahma is from the beginning of the universe to the end, like this. One cannot understand the Supreme Lord. And then afterwards, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he considered that, and he became very thoughtful. And then finally, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave him the mercy, and then showed your transcendental form, a Shadbhuj, 2 arms, as with arrow, and like Lord Brahma, and then these 2 arms here, as Krishna playing flute, and then 2 arms down, carrying a kamandalu and rod, a danda, as sannyasi. And then Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he got not one drop, yeah? One shower of mercy, and become a pure devotee of the Lord. Yeah? And then it's like this, there's some famous verse written by one great devotee of Lord Chaitanya, one associated of Lord Chaitanya, who is living in Sri Vrindavan Dhamma. He came from South India. His name is Prabodhananda Sarasvati. Prabodhananda Sarasvati, his nephew was Gopala Bhatta Goswami. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he went to South India, he stayed in his house. And then he preached Krishna consciousness. He gave the vision that the topmost object of devotion, worship, is Radha Krishna to him. Because he was used to follow in the line of Vishishta Dvaita philosophy of Ramanuja, that is Vaikuntha Bhakti. Vaikuntha Bhakti. It's not Vrindavana Bhakti. It's not Bhakti Rasa, as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught. And then Prabodhananda Sarasvati stayed in Vrindavana. He never went away from Vrindavan. He wrote one verse like this. Kaivalyam narakayate tridashapur akasha pushpayate durdantendriya kala sarpa patali protkata damstrayate vishvam purna sukhayate vidimahen dradishcha kitayate yat karunya kataksha vaibhava vatam Tam Gauram eva stumam. This verse is very poetic. It says that if one receive the merciful glance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, for example, we are here receiving this merciful glance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu. This is our great fortune. And then he says, if one gets the merciful glance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he says, Kaivalya Narakayati. The impersonal liberation is like hell to Vaishnava because he does not have association with Krishna through devotional service. This devotional service is our association directly to Shri Shri Radha Rasa Vihariji. Devotional service is not a connection with the Radha Krishna. But is impersonal liberation, there is no such connection. And the devotional service that we have now continues even in liberated state. This is a bhakti. Bhakti is like this. Bhakti yoga. Srila Prabhupada explained. The other types of yoga, you practice, you become a master of the yoga, and then you can discard that practice. But devotional service, bhakti yoga, no. You start practicing, and then you here in this world, and continuous practicing in the spiritual world. It's the same. Because the relation with Krishna remains. And then he says this impersonal liberation is like a hell for Vaishnava. He says, Tridashapur Akasha Pushpa, Pushpayate, Akasha Pushpa, the flower in the sky. Is one term that it says that is a phantasmagoria, as Srila Prabhupada says like this. Something that does not exist. He says that to be elevated to the celestial, heavenly planets, Swarga Loka, for the devotee, he does not want like this. And then he says, Durdantendriya Kala Sarpa Patali Protkata Danstrayate. Srila Prabhupada says like this, the yogis meditates for sense control. But for the devotees, the senses appears like serpents with the broken teeth. A snake has two big teeth like this. And then these teeth, he can put poison if he goes to the skin of a person. But if you broke that teeth, this serpent cannot do anything. You can embrace it like this, no problem. All the danger is finished like this. And then the verse says that if you get the glance, merciful glance of Lord Chaitanya, the sense is that the normal person is so agitated because devotees are occupied in devotional service, and then the senses is like a serpent with the teeth broken. The verse says, Vishvam Purna Sukhayate. This is interesting. Vishvam Purna Sukhayate. He says that only devotees can be happy in this world. Generally, all people are full of anxieties. Even those who are searching for liberation. Yen ye ravindakta vimukta maninashta yasta bhava vishuddha bhudaya. Srimad Bhagavatam said, because the avishuddha buddhi, the buddhi is not pure. And then vimukta maninas, he thinks that he is very advanced or liberated, jiva mukta, like this, in this world. But because the buddhi is not purified, he cannot surrender to the lotus feet of the Lord. What is this impure body, because there are so much I want liberation. I want to be free from this world. I get rid from the suffering of this world. Too much too much I. For devotees, we have also I. I want to please Krishna. These are our I. This is a pure Buddhi, Shuddha Buddhi. And then I have Shuddha Buddhi when this is self-interest. I want to be free from this world like this. I want this liberation like this. Devotees are not praying for liberation. Devotees are praying to serve Krishna. There is a difference. We have also I, but it's different. It's different, like this. And then Prabodhananda Saraswati is only the devotee can be happy because he is connected with Krishna. There is no more anxiety for getting material things or prestige or something like this. And then the verse says, Vidi Mahendrajis Kakitayate. These Prabodhananda Saraswati is that devotee who are knowing Krishna, he does not have no interest in Brahma and Shiva. He does not, he said that they are considered as something insignificant. And then this Gaur Purnima festival is a greatest opportunity to get this glance, merciful glance of Lord Krishna, to intensify our devotional service. Yes, Srila Prabhupada says to be more Krishna conscious. Krishna consciousness means to understand that everything is connected with Krishna. Everything is an energy of Krishna. This is external energy, but is connected to Krishna. And then we can understand the relation, loving relation between Radha and Krishna, like this, and enter in these pastimes eternally. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Sri Gaur Purnima ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. If there is some comments or question. Okay.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you so much for wonderful class. So here the contradiction comes to my mind that in Bhagavad Gita Krishna says this material world is dukkhalayam and ajashvatam. And now we are hearing from the prayers of Prabhupada Saraswati that if somebody get the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, then Vishwam Purna Sukhayate. So how one can understand this both contradictions?
Also Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, so many times he says that we have to understand clearly the nature of this world. This world is a place of dualities. And then devoted who knows exactly and takes these instructions for serious, he knows how to deal with the dualities. he's not affected by the dualities. The dualities is here. It's affecting everybody. But Krishna says, take ease. Understand the nature of this world. This world is, there is duality. Sama dukkha sukham dhiram. And then people like this, if something is, there is some facilities, he become very happy, euphoric like this. If something is going bad, he goes to the bottom of the well like this. And then the consciousness goes to one side to the other side. But you know these dualities. And then you can live in this world happily, like this, engaged in devotional service like this. Okay, let's finish here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.